Hey everyone, welcome to the KE Report, a company update from Borealis Mining and a recent acquisition that the company just announced on December 10th of Gold Bull Resources. I am chatting with Kelly Malcolm, President and CEO of Borealis Mining. Company is traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol BOGO and the Frankfurt Exchange L4B0. Look, Borealis Mining just started trading this year in August. I've brought Kelly on the back of the start of trading to update us on the company's flagship, this Borealis Gold Project in Nevada, that is actually producing limited amounts of gold from this residual leach pad. But the company is exploring, also looking at bringing that asset into full scale production. But now we have this acquisition of Gold Bull Resources. That company held the Sandman Project. I actually followed along with Gold Bull Resources when it first came to market, and as the company built this about 500,000 ounce gold resource. Look, this ties into Borealis's strategy of tying up some of these smaller projects that, quite frankly, are too small for majors and using this almost satellite feed for the infrastructure that Borealis holds. So, Kelly, talk to us about this strategy and how this Sandman project really fits in with what the company's big plans are, please.
You nailed it, Corey. Thanks for having me on. So we got really excited about Sandman for a few different reasons. Number one, was the margin presented in their recent 2023 PEA, low all-in sustaining costs, but most importantly, very low capex, extremely high IRR, and a very strong NPV. That's also very levered to the price of gold. But what was really intriguing was reading that PEA when I did the reason for the low capex, which I was skeptical of when I first read 31.5 million US for a 40,000 ounce per annum gold project. The reason for that is in the document they rely upon using an external ADR facility, which for those of you that don't know, is essentially the place or the step in the gold processing process where you strip gold out of carbon that is caught there through the heap leaching process and you pour doré bars. So using our Borealis ADR facility, of which we have lots of excess capacity and an experienced operations team, we bring down the capex of Sandman, which is one of the reasons the economics are so very strong. So that's what got us really excited about it and looking forward to pushing it forward.
Now, let's just quickly recap. Again, the resource, about a 500,000 ounces, mostly in indicated, 433,000 ounces in indicated, as well as that PEA. It's 2023, so it is post-COVID PEA. We all know how much costs went up during COVID, but this one is at least a little bit more reputable because it did come out mid last year. Talk to us about the numbers around the resource, but even more importantly, the PEA around what it could cost to build this.
Sure. So, like you said, relatively recent numbers. So, post the worst parts of inflation, although numbers still do rise, but coincidentally, gold has been rising at the same time. But this PEA used the price of US $1,800 per ounce gold. That resulted in, from the 433,000 ounce indicated resource, resulted in a proposed mine life of 9 years, doing about 35 to 40,000 ounces per annum, all in sustaining costs $1,337 US per ounce, with a staggering 81% IRR post tax and an NPV post tax again of $121 million US. That's a 1.3 year payback period on a $31.5 million cap. And the really amazing thing, Corey, is when you look to today's gold pricing, which of course we do, at $2,600 gold, although perhaps I should use 28, but at $2,600 gold, your NPV goes up to $323 million US after tax, and your IRR goes up to 172% after tax. So this thing is really levered to gold. So as gold keeps rising, the value keeps going up. And what's really great is this was about an $8.9 million Canadian purchase price, all stock, which really is a win-win for both parties, I believe. We gave a really nice and healthy premium to Gold Bull shareholders. Their last trade before we announced this was 24 and a half cents Canadian, and the acquisition price is 60 cents Canadian, so well over 100% premium. So hopefully, some happy shareholders there. And on our side, we're very happy in that we have access to a really high margin project that we think we're capable of financing and building and generating some serious free cash flow from.
Yeah, let's face it, Kelly. Look, Gold Bull was more or less stuck in the last couple of years. They weren't able to raise a whole lot of money, and their stock just kept on drifting. But they did put out that PEA that showed these very profitable numbers, again, even at lower gold prices. Now, the synergies that you talked about, you can use your ADR facility. What more work then do you need to do at this Sandman project to get it to that shovel ready stage?
So we're a little bit of ways from that at the moment. So the PEA is done. There's been a lot of work. So Newmont owned this ahead of or before Gold Bull did. They did a lot of the regional kind of boring work that's required to get a permit. So they've completed biological studies, archaeological studies. They've drilled some groundwater wells. All these things are essential to getting your final mining plan of operation. So a lot of that work has been done for us. What our team would like to do is a little bit of metallurgical work coupled with confirmatory drilling and a feasibility study. So we're going to skip the pre-feas, go right to feasibility, and concurrent with that feasibility study, we'll work on permitting. So if, let's say, all goes relatively smoothly, we're looking at about from when the transaction closes, which should be about late February into maybe March. You're looking at about a 2 year period before Sandman could be in production, but realistically, that's not all that far away from now. And we'll be in production, I'm hoping, at Borealis as well. So we'll have some nice revenues coming in and should help limit the cost of actually building this thing in that time period.
So, do you have a general ballpark figure for how much it'll cost to get the feasibility and the permitting and some of that met work done?
Yeah, you're looking at about 4 million, 4 to 5 million US. That the norm for a feasibility is about 3 to 5. Because a lot of the work has been done ahead of it, it should drop that a wee bit. Met work and drilling, you're probably looking at 1 million. So somewhere in that range, Corey.
Now, what about the exploration on this project? I know when I was bringing the company on the show, they were talking about all the exploration potential. They did get very focused on that resource, but look, there's still a lot of drilling that could be done on this project. So, are you going to attack any of the exploration at the Sandman project?
Absolutely. There's lots of potential. It's a really cool project. Where it's located is actually kind of like a desert, like an Egyptian desert almost. There's blowing alluvial sand, there's tumbleweeds, and then sticking out of the ground in these sandy areas are the four deposits. They're actually named North Hill, Silica Ridge, and Able Knoll because they literally stick out of the ground. There's real potential for high grade, low sulfidation epithermal deposits similar to the Sleeper Mine, which is to the north of Sandman by about 25 kilometers or so. We absolutely will do that. We'll do some regional work, and the whole project is permitted for that regional work. It's got a very comprehensive plan of operations, so we can go drill basically anywhere on the project tomorrow if we want to. But our near-term objective is to fast track it into production.
Okay. As you said, could take a couple of years here, some work that still needs to be done just to further de-risk it. Let's move over to that Borealis. Last time we chatted, we outlined some drill results that were released. What else is going on at this Borealis gold project that you can update us on?
Sure, we are busy. So like you mentioned, we do residually pour gold from the heap leach pad. We have put some cyanide onto areas of the existing pad. Right now, we're doing some liner repairs and just really getting everything prepped and ready for our stockpile crushing, which we hope to get done or started in Q1 of 2025. So we're advancing on all fronts. We're drilling as well right now. So we've got a rig drilling for some oxide mineralization to the west of our property. So we're very busy heading into the holiday season, and we anticipate that busyness will only increase going into 2025.
So, what news flow should we watch out for? What are some of the key catalysts in, let's say, early 2025?
One of the main ones that I have been looking forward to for a while was this acquisition of, or the announcement of this definitive agreement Obviously, completion of that transaction is an important one. So there'll be a vote on the Gold Bull side, and we hope to get that all voted for and completed by, call it end of Feb or March. We anticipate some drilling drill results early 2025. And also, and one that I think is really important is initiation of that stockpile crushing, which is kind of the baby step into resumption of genuine production at the mine site. So those are the three that I think are quite important going forward.
All right, Kelly, that brings us up to speed here. Thank you very much for the update on this recent acquisition. I will post a link to the Borealis Mining website in the show notes. Click that link to visit the website and to also read over some of that recent news. Again, Kelly Malcolm, President and CEO of Borealis Mining. Kelly, thanks for the update today.
Many thanks.